did travel affect you? As a kid, I think that's sort of like what the title is about. But the travel for me, I said this in an earlier video, was that I was an Air Force brat, and for I don't know, till I was in 9th grade, we traveled, we moved every 3 years, and we lived in, well, I was born in Spain. I moved there 9 months later, so I was 9 months old, and then we moved to Mississippi, then Florida, then the Philippines, then Virginia. We drove to Virginia, and we drove to California. Then we moved to Florida, drove to Florida from California. Then we moved to Vegas, drove from Florida to Vegas, and then we moved back to California. So we drove from Vegas to Elk Grove, California. And then I moved to Florida. I drove to Florida, and then my parents lived in California, but then they moved to Mississippi. So now every year, once or twice, we drive up to Diamond Head, Mississippi, which is right between Biloxi and New Orleans. That is the driving that I'm always doing. Now for traveling, so I love to travel. I've gotten used to cars. I love traveling cars. I love driving. I love driving just in the car, like, someone else driving. I can take turns with someone driving, whatever it is, I love it. So that's my traveling. Since I've been down here in Florida, we've taken a couple trips to Atlanta and to Savannah and to Key West, and we've driven all those places. And then the most trips we've taken, a car trip, has been to Orlando, because we live in Tampa, and we live an hour and a half away from Universal Studios, an hour and 15 minutes from Disney World, and an hour and a half till SeaWorld. So those are the places that we always go. Now, we always go to Busch Gardens. That's usually a trip, but we live 30 minutes away from it. So those are like our travels, and I love them. I fly every now and then, we fly to places. But yeah, we've flown over to like the islands of like the Caribbean and St. Lucia and Aruba and I don't know, a couple of places. So, and then I've been on cruises, been on I don't know how many cruises. So I'm 39, so I have a few under my belt, and I expect and want more. So, and the one I want the most is I've never been back to Europe, but I was born in Spain. So I want to, I think I want to do a cruise over there. And the one Brian and I have looked at is the Mediterranean. So it goes from Spain to Italy to Greece, or, all those kind of places. We keep looking at, the different ones that have a different schedule, but that's the one we have our eye on. But that should be our next, big trip. But anyways, I love to travel. That's all there is to say about it.